You're going to learn to say your name. Let me hear you say it. What's your name?
Kunta Kinte.
That's just like me. That's exactly what I'm going through.
Well, it's a little different.
Here we go.
Right. Hello. Got a couple of apologies to make first. First one for not uploading at all. Like, I've got no excuses this time either. Like last time we were like, oh no, you know, depression. I find it really difficult to do things, but I have been doing things. Yeah, sorry for leaving you with songs. I know they're bad. Like, I know that I'm not great at all. Like, I'm alright. They're hardly passable, but you know, I enjoy doing them. So my channel, fuck it, you know.
Ooh, you're hard.
And second of all is for the fucking hand gestures that I'm gonna do in this video, because I always do videos sitting down, and that's not because I'm lazy and just want to put the camera at the end of my bed. Promise. It's because when I'm sat down, I'll sit on my hands. So I'm not doing this shit. You should see me trying to ask someone out on a date. I'm just stood there going, would you like to, I can't keep my hands still. First off, it's LGBTQ celebration month. I think it's celebration month. I'd say awareness month, but you sort of do that with illnesses, don't you? And it's not really an illness. So first off, I hope you're having a great month if you're celebrating it. And for all the people that aren't sure why they're doing it, it's like, oh no, we never have a straight month. 11 months of the year, straight month, and this month included. Every advert you see, every advert for perfume, whatever, it's a straight couple.
And I know that I want to Shalima by Tula.
What are you on about? What does it fucking smell like?
Every film you see that's released, it's a straight couple romance. So they're celebrating it because there's no other months when they're celebrated. Just calm you straight bottom down, it's fine. Just allow them to do their thing and use it as an opportunity to learn a little more about it, because I can guarantee there are things that you're doing that contribute to why they're unequal. Okay, I'm not, and people think that that's me calling people shitty people. You're not a shitty person. You're just following a routine and a culture that's been impressed on us since we were growing up. So it's sort of impossible to not be doing something wrong, if that makes sense. I keep finding out that I'm doing shit wrong. It's just about the attitude that you have, whether you listen and learn from it or whether you defend yourself. And there's nothing to defend yourself from, to be honest, because there's nothing bad that people in my position go through. So but yeah, moving on from that, I've been quite active on social media recently, and a lot of the stuff that I've come across is guys responding, not happily, shall we say, to posts about rape culture and how women are oppressed in everyday life. And to be quite honest, I'm just sick of it, like, because I've got friends who will tell me about bad experiences they've had with guys, and it's not just like, oh, it's just a shitty guy, because it's every guy pretty much. Like, and I know you're gonna say, oh, not all guys are bad. All guys follow a culture which is bad, okay? Like, they might not actively do things that upset individuals, but they're part of that culture. I'm part of that culture, okay? And unless you recognise it and change, then you're part of a shitty group of people. Small things like when you go on a night out, as a guy, you're dressing up to look as good as you like, and then you get the pick of who you might want to approach or go home with or whatever. As a girl, you're not looking for people that you want to go home with. You're also looking out for people that you don't want to go home with, so that you can try and stay away from them. That's why you stay as groups as girls, so that you feel a lot safer. And guys don't understand that. Also, something that they don't understand is when a girl's reluctant to do something, that's because they don't want to do it. That doesn't mean, oh, they want to be persuaded. Oh, it's a conquest, it's a battle that you've got to go through to get with the girl. No, that's you forcing yourself on her until she gives in through fear of feeling unsafe or just tired of just telling you to get lost. Can you just for a minute realise that a girl might not want to be with you, perhaps? Like, if you approach them and they're just like, no thank you to buying a drink or talking or whatever, they're not obligated to do that, okay? Like, you can say how, oh, girls are vain, they only go for looks or whatever. That's their choice, okay? They are not obligated to talk to you because you're saying they shouldn't be vain, alright? you're obligated to not push something when they've given a sign that says no. Like they're afraid to say no straight up through fear of being rude, through fear of provoking a bad reaction, through fear of making things awkward towards you, through fear of making things awkward towards their group of friends. And the amount of times I've had to explain this on a post about how these extreme examples of this, where people force themselves onto a woman and sexually assault them, you might not ever do that, but to say that you're not contributing to a culture which supports that in our society and creates that sort of environment where they can still exist, that's a joke. I was on a post the other day, and some guy commented on the post about rape culture. You know what, fuck it, I'll get it up on my phone. Right, there's a pretty run of the green tweet that a lot of feminist posts about no means no, also I don't feel like it, I'm not sure, I'm not comfortable, not right now, let's just chill, I don't like that sort of thing. They're all no, that all means stop. But unfortunately for guys, that means, you know what, let's just keep trying. That obviously means they just need persuading. That means don't do it, alright? A comment on it, which has got 15 wankers have liked this. Rape culture is not real. Change my mind. The amount of privilege that's involved to say that. To say you don't experience the things that you're saying. Change my mind. You argue something to say that I'm doing something bad. Not only are you participating in this culture which is causing these women to feel unsafe, but you're then saying I'm not going to believe you unless you in a group come up with this really obvious argument as to why I'm wrong and I might believe you. That's so good of you. And then you've got several men on the post who have argued with me, who have said, oh no, he's not being vicious or anything. He's taking such a good approach. He's so open-minded. He just wants to be persuaded. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not open-minded. You want to be open-minded, you shut up for a good year and you just listen. Don't have an opinion on it. Okay, you need to stop enforcing your view on what you think oppressed groups are experiencing, what you think you're doing. Because if you're brought up from a kid in the exact same way, then how are you going to know? You know, you're not going to know. Everything else that you do, you're just so used to. You know, it's so difficult to step back and see it. So I'm not saying it's like it's super easy, why aren't you doing it? I'm saying what's super easy is to contribute to this culture which is so toxic. Also, another one is, you know, stop telling women how to deal with their own oppression. You know, stop saying feminists, you should be doing this, perhaps you should be doing that. If you're an ally, you just support them in what they're doing. They obviously know what they're doing. Like, they've been going through this shit since the beginning of time. Like, how can you say, oh, perhaps you should go on this side, just because you've understood it for 6 months because you've listened to your friend who's a passionate feminist? Like, you're not gonna know, are you? Like, you might have this brilliant idea that's come up to you as a guy who obviously experiences these things all the time. If you want to be an ally to feminism and an ally to equality, just listen. Follow groups that are vocal about it, because there are some really selfless people out there who are willing to educate idiots like us. Like, just listen to these groups, and obviously there's going to be part of you'll see a post and you'll just be like, well, that's not right, is it? But that's your reaction, that's what's been put into you. You're supposed to be defensive, you're supposed to be privileged, you're supposed to be superior. You've got to remember that's what you've been taught. It might not be as direct as it used to be, and you might look back and say things were bad then, they're fine now. They're not, it's just a different form. People didn't think it was bad back then, so why would you think it's bad now? Because you're part of it, so you obviously think it's fine. Sorry, crunching eyes. 21 still fucking do that. So anyway, yeah, I'm tempted to make videos just reacting to my week of responding to Instagram bullshit, because there's a lot. Like there's one from someone that I actually know, who I put this shocking picture, and the amount of unreported rape cases in comparison to ones that have been reported and then ones that have been convicted. 2 of them were false accusations of rape. And a comment that I got from the guy wasn't, you know, you're looking at this board and the amount of times that women have been raped, and it's like nothing's happened, no justice has come to them, nothing to make them feel safer or more confident about themselves. or be able to put this traumatic experience behind them. It was well, that's not accurate, is it? 2 people. Statistically, it says 2 to 6% or 2 to 8%. Like, how can you say that? How can you comment? How can that be the most important thing that you've taken from this entire post? Oh, I'm just trying to help you get reliable statistics. Are you fucking with me? Like, just look at this post. Why can you not take the most shocking part, the most reasonably shocking part, and support how bad that is? And support how that needs to be removed? Hey, you could call me a keyboard warrior, come to me in real life, I'll do exactly the same. Like, I meet a lot more people on my social media, which is probably why I don't have many people that I know on it. But yeah, anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember that reflection is the most important part of growing and changing. Don't be afraid of the fact that we might be doing something wrong. No one's going to hate you for doing that. In fact, people are going to appreciate the fact that you recognise it. I'm no hero, I'm just an ally. I'm just stood in the background, like, trying to help them achieve what they're trying. And I get a ton of appreciation for it, but, you know, it's nice and everything, but unless they're moving forward, I won't feel like I've accomplished anything. I'm just trying to do what's right, you know. So anyway, look at yourself, learn whether we're doing something toxic, whether it contributes to a society which advocates these awful things that happen. And yeah, if any more songs come your way, I'll apologise in advance. Anyway, it's been Skaz Talks. Have a good one.